Good evening, everyone. We're thrilled to have you with us this evening for Design Pittsburgh 2020. I'm Joe Chafin, President of the Board of Directors for AIA Pittsburgh. I'm joined this evening by Dina Snyder, First Vice President and Chair of the Design Awards, in the same space, yet socially distant. It appears we have another record-breaking year of attendees. At least that's what I can assume, given that I can see a lot of viewers out there. This evening's socially distanced gathering is only possible through the significant contributions of our hardworking volunteers and AIA Pittsburgh staff. Let's please give them a round of applause. But before we get started, we simply could not pull off an event at this caliber without the generous support of our many partners in the AEC industry. Now, we'd like to take a few moments to recognize all of our sponsors. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to pull off this evening's awards ceremony. Our contributors. Our bronze sponsors. Silver sponsors.
HDR, Stantec.
Blueprint for Better theme sponsor.
Bowler.
Young Architects Studio Competition sponsor.
Epic Metals.
In Kind sponsor.
Greg Cole Creative.
Gold sponsors.
Michael Baker International. PJ Dick. WNA Engineering.
Legal Education Partner.
Burke Cromer Cremenes.
Live Broadcast sponsor.
Nello Corporation.
Our Sustainable Design sponsor.
Allen and Sharif Engineering.
Premier Building Partner.
Master Builders Association.
People's Choice Award sponsor.
Civil and Environmental Consultants.
And our official sponsor.
Gateway Engineers.
Gateway Engineers is an integral part of this event and has been a significant sponsor for many years. Next, thanks to our recent advances in technology, our favorite communication platform, Zoom, I'd like to welcome John Schneider with Gateway Engineers.
Thank you, Joe. My name is John Schneider with Gateway Engineers, and we are the official sponsor for this year's event. I must admit that I'm very disappointed that we cannot meet in person, as we always have, for these design awards. I always enjoy walking around the displays and learning a little bit about each project, as well as the firm that produced it, and as well as seeing all of you and catching up. For me, I feel like a sports fan attending the ESPYs, where all the people whose work you so admire are all in the same place at once. And although we are not meeting in person, I have reviewed the submissions and they are just as interesting and thought-provoking as they always are. Gateway is proud to support these design awards, and we thoroughly enjoy helping to bring projects to fruition with you. Even though these times have brought new meaning to collaboration and coordination, we have been pleasantly surprised at how everyone is navigating through it and still accomplishing the ultimate goal, a successful, exciting outcome for the building owner. This is the one time a year when you get to showcase your talents to your peers and marvel at their accomplishments as well. So please enjoy. And thank you all for attending, and I look forward to seeing you in person at next year's event. Take care.
Thank you, John and Gateway Engineers, for your continued support of and collaboration with AIA Pittsburgh. Before we begin with awards for the evening, I would like to talk about the importance of community. None of us could have imagined where we would be right now as an industry or community. During the planning of Design Pittsburgh, the committee unanimously agreed that we would celebrate some of the amazing work that many of our member firms have been doing in their own communities. So throughout tonight's broadcast, you will get to meet a few of the architects and firms that have really gone above and beyond in a segment titled COVID Community Heroes.
As soon as the pandemic hit, I think we all felt like we really wanted to help in some way to those who were much greater impacted by the pandemic. Our hearts went out to them because they were such an at-risk population. We knew that they had to isolate in a way that many others had to who were senior populations. So we reached out to the owners and said, is there anything that we can do to help to just lift their spirits? They were just going to Costco and buying a bunch of snacks and trying to put in puzzles and different activities. So we said, would you be okay with us sponsoring maybe one of your Friday goodie bags? They loved that idea. They were very welcoming of that. When we brought it back to the staff as an idea, there was just such excitement around it. And the idea that what if instead of just buying goodies and sticking them in a bag, we actually created our own activity book that was meaningful in some way to them and would help them feel more connected to the outside community. Many different staff members in our office took on different pages of an activity book and actually created word searches. A lot of them were just taking up their iPads and creating something new. Our theme was to keep it connected to Pittsburgh. And so we just divided and conquered, and we would come together and we would talk about what our activity pages were, then compile them all into goodie bags. There was one day we were reassembling them all masked up with gloves and everything, making sure we did it as safely as we could, and then delivered them to Riverview Towers and allowed the staff to then distribute them. And we got a really good response. You know, they were so grateful. This was just one small thing that we could do to help to serve a small community that we had a direct connection to. I think a big part of our mission at Rothschild Doino Collaborative is to find ways to make the world a better place. We really pride on our ability to be a collaborative, our ability to have empathy for others, and to serve our communities.
The People's Choice Award was created to engage the public towards architecture and to showcase great design. What began as an outreach opportunity has really taken off, becoming an incredibly competitive award opportunity to recognize and publicly celebrate the hard work of the entire AEC community. The online gallery gives each project an opportunity to be shared with the public and highlight the collaboration of our industry. We are proud to have Civil and Environmental Consultants as our sponsor of the 2020 People's Choice Award and would like to introduce Chris Remley to announce this year's winner.
Thanks, Joe. It is my great pleasure to be here representing CEC. We're now in our 31st year of operation as a Pittsburgh headquartered engineering and environmental consulting firm with more than 1,000 employees and offices nationwide. CEC has been a Design Pittsburgh sponsor for more than 20 years, nearly a decade of which has been for the People's Choice Award. We're proud to continue our support this year, especially during this time when we're all exploring new ways to stay engaged with people. CEC is a people-first company, and that includes our clients, our employees, and our community members. One of the many reasons why CEC is committed to this award and to AIA Pittsburgh is because they both provide a special connection to the people. We recognize the importance of good design and the emotions it evokes in the people who experience it. In addition to being engineers, we are design professionals who revere and thrive upon the collaborative process, both internally at CEC and through our work alongside architects and on project teams. We appreciate that collaboration, so thank you to the architectural community for the opportunity to be actively involved in your organization. Now, without further ado, I am excited to announce this year's People's Choice Award winner. The People's Choice Awards had a total of 3,261 votes this year. With a total of 441 votes, the 2020 People's Choice Award goes to Allegheny Health Network, AGH Academic Cancer Institute by IKM Incorporated. Congratulations and stay safe, everyone.
Come early April, late March, we were looking at what we could do as an office to be able to facilitate. We have this equipment that we were working remotely, but this equipment was sitting here basically idle. One of our major divisions, is the healthcare environment. And obviously when you have architects and those involved in the healthcare environment, a lot of their loved ones happen to be in the healthcare field as well. That natural connection between some of our loved ones and the need for the equipment within the space, keeping them safe, was one of the initial precursors to why we kind of made this move forward. We have equipment available and we have a certain know-how that expands outside of the world of architecture, that being able to take a critical eye, isolate a problem that exists within our community, and then be able to produce a product. It's a really rewarding feeling to know that we've given back. We made a couple modifications. One of our designers in-house here, Andrew Campbell, took that 3D printed base model, and we were able to reduce the size to help speed up production, to use less material. In addition to creating the face shields with the visors, we also identified this side endeavor of creating the hoods for doctors during the OR process. On staff here, we have a healthcare researcher, and when they were seeing what we were doing with the face shields, they were wondering if there was a parallel endeavor that we could be doing for Tyvek hoods, or what we use Tyvek for these hoods for incubation, to make sure that when the doctors leaned over to work on a patient, that they were fully protected. The 3D printed visor and the shield became the kind of base for that, and attached to that became the Tyvek material, essentially kind of like a gown. So the base visor kind of became the backbone of it, if you will. It became the stable of it, and then everything else kind of got attached to it with the Tyvek. Vast majority of them went out of house to nonprofits and first responders. The overall response was tremendous. We received letters back from several of the recipients, thanking us for the work and for all the face shields. Gave us a little bit of a heads up of how they were used and what they went to. The entire office in general was incredibly supportive of the process at every step along the way. Anytime I reached out to look for volunteers for one step or another, I had to pass people up and push them along to the next opportunity, because everybody wanted to help produce the equipment. Everyone wanted to be involved.
Next, we have the Young Architects Studio Competition. Now, in its 10th year, the goal of the competition is to engage young architects, emerging design professionals, and students by challenging them towards innovation in approaching a design challenge. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are forced to rapidly rethink how we choose to share spaces and find shelter in our homes. So this year's challenge was exactly that. Applicants were asked to draw from their own experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic, and using the space in which they sheltered as a canvas, propose an intervention or adaptation that addresses their needs, or by extension, the needs of their defined community, at the scale that best suits their experience. The local jury for this year's competition was comprised of Drew Kerr, Interiors, Special Projects and Business Development Manager for Turner Construction, Doug Spies, Senior Director of Architecture and Engineering for UPMC, and Abigail Melanson, Design Coordinator with Allegheny Health Network. We greatly appreciate the support of Epic Metals as the sponsor of the 2020 Young Architects Studio Competition. David Landis, President of Epic Metals, was kind enough to join us this evening.
Thank you, Joe. This year, Epic Metals is proud to sponsor the Young Architects Studio Competition. There were quite a few unique and different submissions. Overall, the jury was impressed with the creative thinking of all the submissions and concepts. I am proud to announce the Award of Excellence for the 2020 Young Architects Studio Competition goes to Jason Andrews. The jury felt the designer portrayed a great understanding of the design criteria while meeting an immediate physical and psychological need for themselves and a dear family member. The level of clarity in communicating the intent was outstanding. The design provided flexibility and serenity in a quickly changing world. It was also representative of the fragility of our transient lives and captured how important our human connection with each other and our surroundings truly are. They felt that the submission provided incredible insight into the COVID experience. With a thoughtful solution for the transition to the end of life, COVID has left many to die alone, and the care environment presented here far exceeded the goals of the competition by suggesting a connection to light, air, and nature, while focusing on the freedom of mobility and the presence of space, truly enhanced the ars moriendi. The submission articulated a clear understanding of the problem, graphic representation, and innovative solution to what was obviously a personal experience. Architecture is about how we experience space, and the submission elevates the potential of that experience through a personal connection to the design. Congratulations, Jason.
Grab a drink. I always do that. Okay. Hello, I'm George Reiki, and I'm on the board of directors for AIA Pittsburgh and also serve as co-chair of the AIA Pittsburgh Committee on the Environment. This year, architects were asked to think about the framework for design excellence and include them into their Design Pittsburgh submission. So what is the framework for design excellence and why is it important? Last year was a transformative year for the architecture profession. At the 2019 National Convention, the American Institute of Architects adopted the Resolution for Urgent and Sustained Climate Action, embarking our profession on a journey to holistically address climate change for years to come. Subsequently, the AIA Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct was updated to include new rules which require architects to consider environmental impacts and to include new standards which pose recommendations for addressing specific priorities in environmental equity and justice, energy and water conservation, building materials, ecosystems, and climate change. As a result, the architect's duty to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public now has a much broader meaning. The AIA will be engaging its members through a multi-year strategy of education, practice, advocacy, and outreach to advance the resolution and its principles. As one of the first steps, AIA developed the framework for design excellence to help architects with the call to action and to strive to be a better professional through 10 guiding principles that point towards a zero carbon, equitable, resilient, and healthy built environment. The framework intends to be a practical, accessible, and relevant toolkit for every architect, every client, and every project, regardless of size, typology, and aspiration. The 10 principles are: design for integration. Good design elevates any project, no matter how small, with a thoughtful process that delivers both beauty and function and balance. It is the element that binds all the principles together with a big idea. Design for equitable communities. Design solutions affect more than the client and current occupants. Good design positively impacts future occupants and the larger community. Design for ecosystems. Good design mutually benefits human and non-human inhabitants. Design for water. Good design conserves and improves the quality of water as a precious resource. Design for economy. Good design adds value for owners, occupants, community, and planet, regardless of project size and budget. Design for energy. Good design reduces energy use and eliminates dependence on fossil fuels while improving building performance, function, comfort, and enjoyment. Design for well-being. Good design supports health and well-being for all people, considering physical, mental, and emotional effects on building occupants and the surrounding community. Design for resources. Good design depends on informed material selection, balancing priorities to achieve durable, safe, and healthy projects with an equitable, sustainable supply chain to minimize possible negative impacts on the planet. Design for change. Adaptability, resilience, and reuse are essential to good design, which seeks to enhance usability, functionality, and value over time. Design for discovery. Every project presents a unique opportunity to apply lessons learned from the previous projects and gather information to refine design process. We architects must recognize that our profession can leverage the power of design to find solutions that help solve some of the most significant needs of our time. The goal of the Framework for Design Excellence is to challenge architects with a vision of what the profession strives to achieve and provide us with the resources to achieve this vision.
Thank you, George. As we move on to the awards portion of tonight's program, I'd like to take a minute and introduce the 2020 jury. This year, we selected a panel of jurors from AIA Baltimore. The jurors include Pavlina Ilieva, Kari Beer, Peter Doe, Calvin McCargo, and Scott Walters. We had a diverse jury representing small to large firms, varying market sectors, sustainability experience, and community engagement. After 2 intense days of deliberation, we asked the jury to share a few of their comments and their overall thoughts of the Pittsburgh Design Awards submissions.
Hi everyone, this is AIA Baltimore. We're delighted to be reviewing AIA Pittsburgh's work for 2020. We're coming on the heels of a second day of deliberations, being able to review the work and make decisions on which projects are emerging towards the top, and we wanted to share some of our thoughts and observations. My name is Pavlina Ilieva. I had the pleasure of chairing our awards jury, and with that I want to give it to the rest of the jury to introduce themselves.
This is Peter Dew. I have a small sustainability consulting company in Baltimore. It was good to see the projects that were presented, and I think you'll be happy with the awards that were handed out. But I certainly wish that there had been a little bit more attention paid to sustainability across the board. There were definitely projects that did that, but we're at a moment in time where I think this is becoming increasingly critical. I think architects have a responsibility to really take this seriously and include these aspects in the projects.
My name is Scott Walters. I am this year's AIA Baltimore president, and I'm also a design principal and leader at Ford Copeland Architects here in Baltimore. So we were amazed at the breadth both in the diversity of the projects, but also the size and scales of the ones that were submitted. And I think for myself, I think that especially the winners, but all the projects to a certain extent, they were all grounded in place, and you could tell that they were about the place and the community for which those projects were developed and designed. Thank you for all the great work that you're doing. We really appreciated being able to review these projects and debate for days the merits of these awards.
Hello, my name is Calvin McCargo Jr. I'm president of Design and Architects here in Baltimore City. I'm also a lecturer at Morgan State University and current president of Be More NOMA. And I definitely enjoyed the entries into this year's AIA Pittsburgh Awards, Design Awards. I thought there was a great variety of work. I felt that a lot of the programs were very progressive, and I really enjoyed seeing the attempts at trying to resolve issues around these progressive programs and efforts. I would encourage you all to continue to strive for exciting expressions of architecture. Continue to try to push the envelope. Continue to move us forward.
Hi, my name is Carrie Beer. I work for a small firm focusing on single-family residential, small commercial, and I partner with communities and neighborhoods to help create regenerative neighborhoods in Baltimore. It was an honor and wonderful opportunity to be on this jury and get an inside look into everything that's happening in Pittsburgh. There was a diversity of type, whether they're conceptual or artistic projects, good architecture projects. Saw a lot of community collaboration, which was great to see, see that we're, as architects, are looking at working with communities and clients and focusing. I think we need to focus on the social equity. So it's great that we have that award now.
I'd like to add that we're excited to share our award selections with you. Rest assured that they were all well debated and well supported by the jury. And we'd like to use them as encouragement to continue to do good work and to support each other through these difficult times, and to support your local AIA. And stay safe, everybody. Thank you.
And now for the awards. Unbuilt Projects category. Social Equity and Design Award. In Service to Refugees, Rothschild Doino Collaborative.
In Service of Refugees demonstrates a much needed resource to a community and a series of collaborative strategies for bringing varied constituencies together to vision, plan, and fundraise for a common cause.
Honor Award. Etna Eco District Plan, Evolve Environment Architecture.
The Etna Eco District Plan provides a set of invaluable tools that educate and enable communities to strive for a clean and equitable future. The proposed interventions offer an invigorating vision for otherwise residual, underutilized urban spaces.
Small Projects category, 5,000 square feet or less. Social Equity in Design Award, Presley's Place, Hayes Design Group.
Presley's Place is a special place, one that reminds us that the spaces we inhabit help shape the way we see the world, and designing for everyone makes our world bigger.
Certificates of Merit. .210 Indianola Rothschild Doino Collaborative.
210 Indianola residence stands out with strong consideration for sustainability and a thoughtful relationship to the natural site.
Carlow University, University Commons Terrace, LGA Partners.
The Carlow University Commons Terrace railing design is elevated by the successful collaboration with university art students who capture the spirit of their academic community.
Winterton Street Residence, Evolve Environment Architecture.
The Winterton Street Residence presents a thoughtful design approach and commitment to quality execution as evidenced by the intimate, cared-for indoor and outdoor spaces.
Medium Projects category, 5,000 to 50,000 square feet. Social Equity in Design Award.
Thanks, Dina. Maybe I should take the Social Equity in Design Award. University of Pittsburgh, Community Engagement Center Homewood by Strata. Homewood Community Engagement Center models a bridge between academic institutions and the communities that surround them, an invaluable stream for sharing resource towards more equitable communities.
Certificate of Merit. Center for Urban Education, Rothschild Doino Collaborative.
Center for Urban Education breaks away from the rigid geometry of the existing building and boldly resets its rules on spatial interaction within the academic setting.
Sunny Hill Unitarian Universalist Church of the South Hills, Rothschild Doino Collaborative.
Sunny Hill Unitarian Universalist Church presents a thoughtful juxtaposition between old and new, inside and outside. The modest material palette combined with elegant form are a breath of fresh air.
Honor Award. Argo AI, Palo Alto Office, Moss Architects.
Argo AI shines with its elegant utility and fluid yet clearly defined spatial logic. The steel armature performs on several levels and complements the project's light, open, and welcoming space. Social and work areas connect seamlessly, and extend into the landscape unencumbered by peripheral offices. The resulting experience exemplifies an equitable workspace designed with people in mind.
Large projects category, 50,000 plus square feet. Certificate of Merit. Sandstone Quarry Apartments, Rothschild Doino Collaborative.
Sandstone's Quarry Apartments design represents a fresh vision for a mixed-income site. The reconfigured building orientation helps establish new connections and potential for vibrant community development.
Tech Mill 41, Rothschild Doino Collaborative.
Tech Mill 41 office building relishes in the industrial past along the Allegheny River while introducing a contemporary building language and new density of use for the site. Efforts to integrate textures, artifacts, and parts of old buildings with new interventions recontextualize the entire development.
Honor Award, Yale Science Building, Stantec.
The Yale Science Building design demonstrates a high degree of integration in addressing the project's communal, operational, and environmental goals. The elegant, understated aesthetics of the exterior envelope and interior spaces reflect the seemingly effortless weaving of function and performance. The project presents a holistic approach and a higher standard when addressing the needs of the scientific community.
Silver Award, Museum Lab at the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh, PWWG Architects.
The Museum Lab stands out for its unusual approach to celebrating found architecture. The project leaves the patina of the existing building edifice exposed, which sets the stage for creating a world of discovery and imagination. The playful integration of artistic and functional elements conveys the resourcefulness and creativity of the project team, which in turn translates into the distinct ethos of the project overall. And now, award winners, please make your way over to Nova Place and join us inside Alloy 26 for photos. Just kidding, I couldn't resist. This concludes the 2020 Design Awards. We wish we could have all been together this year to celebrate the amazing accomplishments of our great architects in the region, but we will all be together very soon.
Thank you all for viewing with us, and congratulations to all of the winners this evening. Cheers.
Cheers.